Hello, everybody. My name is Jona.
Oh, step in closer to the mic. Yeah, yeah. Eat it.
My name is Jona, and I just want to thank Generation Projects for giving me the opportunity to share my story with others. I want to begin my story as when I was a young girl. When I was a young girl, and at the age of 8, I was molested by my dad. That started everything. And then, at first, my mother was a young mother also. And ooh, and she had 4 children. And at the age of 10, I had a stepdad. And he lived with us. Then him and my mom broke up. And that's when everything began. So I started running away from home at the age of 12. I got pregnant with my first daughter at the age of 15. 16, I had my daughter. And then I was introduced to crack. And that's when, I started running the streets, hanging out, selling my body, using drugs. So one day, a van came around and they asked me, did I want to get tested for HIV? Back then, they gave us money to get tested. I got tested. When they came back with the results, they gave us more money. And that's when, in 1987, I knew I had HIV. So I still ran the streets. I hung out in the streets, running around, selling my body, using drugs. And one day I got so sick, I lived in my own house. And she took me to the nursing home. I didn't have no T cells. I was sick. I was so sick I couldn't walk. They had to push me into the nursing home in a wheelchair. Then I was introduced to a drug called heart, and I began taking my medicine. In 1999, I've been drug free ever since. I've been drug free ever since then. You know, Sometimes when I tell my story, I have 4 grandchildren, 21, 16, 11, and 6 years old. And I got both of my daughters back in my life. My daughters was taken, they went into the system. I had both of my daughters back in my life. And sometimes it's not easy. It's hard, but I thank God for giving me another chance at life. Because, a lot of people was taken from HIV and AIDS, and I was one of the given ones to live my life. You know, 38 years later, drug-free, living my life, I began to go back to school and to get my GED and my BA at the same time. I work with an organization called Canberra and Parenthood, and I just thank God. And I was struggling, during all that time. I never loved myself. So at the end of the day, today I love myself. I got my sisters around me. You know, Whenever we going through something, we able to talk about it and get by. And sometimes it's not always easy. You know, at first I thought I wasn't gonna be here to survive this long, but through hard, anything could happen. And with all of this, I'm just grateful that I got a chance to live and survive. It was a hard, at 8 years old, being molested by my father. It was hard. And then at 10 and 12, running away from home, the streets, practically raised me. And I'm just so glad that I got an opportunity to share my story, because it's still people out here and young girls still out here, thinking that it can't happen to them. And I got a chance to tell my story that you can live with HIV and AIDS. And thank you.